Alright, so just an update as to what's going on in this garden. I just had to make some changes and do some weeding and everything. And I guess I'll start over here before I show you the full thing. But with the tomato plants, one thing I realize is how wild they grow, the different vines or stems, whatever you want to call it. So I actually use a small trellis for this, but I'm now realizing that that probably wasn't a good idea. That's probably for smaller plants. But once again, I'm a beginner gardener, so learning as I go. So I would advise if you guys are doing tomatoes, just probably when you transplant them or putting them in the ground, probably give them at least, I would say, no less than about 2 feet space in between. Because as you can see, all these are different tomatoes here, and you see just how wild these are growing. So I also use a zip tie to keep things in place. And yes, I had to get innovative, and we had a shower shower curtain holder, the rod that I had to use as a trellis in here. So what's needful is lawful, so can't hate on this. So I had to tie these together because these vines are growing all over the place. All right, so like I said, probably 2 feet space in between, because especially with these tomatoes, see how big these are. Um, these gonna get heavy, and they lean over into my peppers. And now to be onto the peppers. The peppers are growing good as well. They flowering, and some of them have the peppers on them, so they are looking good. But also these, I would give these at least a foot and a half to 2 feet as well. Just because, especially if you prune them, which I did, they tend to spread. And actually, these in the front I didn't prune, but the ones at the bottom, see a lot of vines and a lot of new stems. But one also, why you want to do good spacing is so the air can get to them good, and the air can circulate and pass through each of them. So that's something I'm gonna keep in mind for next year. All right. Uh, I think this is another pepper plant, but I think this is the hot pepper, the poblano, poblano pepper, or habanero pepper, which we actually call goat pepper back home in the Bahamas. So I'm actually hopeful this one will do as well. Um, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but whatever it is, it's growing pretty good. And this one over here, this beans, green beans. Um, see, it has several. I thought there's only one on this, but I just noticed several growing already. So yeah, that's doing good. Um, this is the carrot, and you can see at the base, the root is right there, as well as this one. So this one will be probably ready shortly, as well as this beets. But I picked the first one, and I didn't do a video with that, but I probably will post pictures later. But that was pretty small, but it was rich in flavor, and it was a Detroit red, but it has a nice taste to it. So I recommend that one as well. Same with tomato. I picked one. Actually, I had two of this, but they're small little tomatoes. I think these are grape tomatoes, but you can see that's one right down there as well. But I'll leave it on for a bit. And they're still flowering and still growing. So, like I said, give them good space and a strong trellis, and they should be fine. I don't think I showed you guys this the last time, but I had corn out here as well. Um, and this corn stalk should be about almost 6 feet, because I'm about 6'2", 6'3". But yeah, this one is growing good, and see all these coming out. So I should have a good harvest with this, I would think. And what I did to give it a little top, get some pollen working, trying to help the the bugs out. Yeah, so corn, hopefully they should be nice and sweet because they supposed to be sweet corn. All right. Now, seeing it with the cucumber is also taking over the space with the corn. Once again, I just planted stuff randomly and wasn't too sure, but there's 3 cucumber plants. But yeah, this one, it's really good. And that should be ready probably, I want to say, within the month. Um, and there's a bunch of little cucumbers growing and even some bigger ones. So part of the problem with this too is the spacing again, because for it to get good um, pollination and with the wind and all that and letting that air get in between it, need that space. So that's still looking good. Rosemary doesn't seem to be doing much, but I just added some more dirt in here because this is slightly elevated from the other stuff. So the roots were somewhat exposed on one side, so I added some more. These are the rosemary that I started from seed. It's been extremely hot, so they also could be in need of some more water. But I was watering them. I probably had the sprinkler on for like half an hour yesterday, and it's cooler now. So, but for the past 3 days, it's been extremely hot. So I've been trying to water them in the morning and a little in the evening. All right, but the time is looking good, and we got the cilantro and the parsley. They're still looking good, but hopefully this turns. And I had some Epsom salt with you yesterday too, so that should help to fertilize. So we'll see. These are the basil, the sweet basil. Yeah, they're starting to spread very nice. So we'll see with that. These I started indoor and I transplanted. These basil I bought from Lowe's. See, this rosemary I bought from the store as well, farmer's market. Yeah, but the basil's coming along good. And like I told you guys before, the mint I couldn't get them to grow at all, so I gave up on them and I bought them from Lowe's, I think. But yeah, they looking pretty good, nice and wild. A recommendation when growing mint is it's such an invasive herb that you want to give it its space, and as you can see, it's leaning all over the place, so you can give it its space as well. But this is one that I propagated, meaning I cut off like the top part of it, probably 4 inches, yeah, 4 to 6 inches from the top of one of the mint when I bought it, and I just put it in a container with water, and it caught its roots just like that. But there are propagation videos you can find on YouTube, so that should help with that. Put an onion out here. This is the onion, so that'll probably be another 3 to 6 months before see anything with that, but we'll see. Now this is the watermelon. I didn't want to put it in the ground because I wanted to be able to move it wherever I wanted it to. So when keeping it in pot like this, you gotta be on top of fertilization and everything just to make sure it keeps its nutrients and it has a chance to live, because you keeping it in a pot and it isn't getting the natural dirt from the ground, as well as fertilization from like the worms and stuff, because there are a lot of worms out here. So I have them in here and they're looking good. We see runners and stuff starting to come on them, especially this one. So I'm going to say by next week this will start falling over, and this is about the time when it's going to start picking up. All right, and I have the garlic here. But the main thing I want to show you guys is that out here a lot of weeds. So yesterday it's 9 degrees, but you know the sacrifices we make for end products that we want. So I had to do a lot of weeding out here, and I got this black strip. It's like almost like a mesh type material. I got it from Lowe's, as well as the rocks. I got those from Lowe's, and I did some heavy weeding, and I dig up the dirt and everything, tilled everything, and got all those weeds out and covered it. And once I cover it like this, it should suffocate the weeds. And but I want to keep the rocks on it just to make sure that it's nice and weighted, just because summertime and we expect storms to come and heavy winds. As you can see, that one in back there isn't really grounded good, but the weight of the rocks out here should be nice and firm and gonna hold this down. So the good thing about this is you can pretty much tear it with your hand. It's still nice and firm, but you can tear it. As when I was putting these down yesterday, I used my hand to tear this. It almost looks like a window screen, but it's nice and tight. So when it's time to plant something, all you have to do is come. You can use a pair of scissors and just cut it, or you can just dig right through it. Transplant or plant the seed, but I'd recommend with this starting inside and transplanting once it gets big enough, and that way it has a chance. But of course, I still have my owl to keep the squirrels and stuff away, and I have a few snakes. I don't know if I showed you guys, but I have like 3 snakes out here as well. Uh, Artificial snakes, of course. But yeah, I might go and get some more rocks, or you can put mulch or anything you want out here. And I did restructure the edges, so I need some more rocks to try and complete this. But it's a work in progress. But like I say, spacing, spacing, spacing. Just think of that. So think of the end result, and when in doubt, give it more space, and you should be able to see a nice product at the end. I didn't show you guys the Brussels sprouts. Sorry. Yeah, the tomatoes. It's like I said, it's so plenteous, and they so heavy because I was topping the flowers and topping the stems so it can pollinate. It's a lot of tomatoes on the trees. So because of that, they were super heavy, and because I didn't have the right trellis on it and right support, they were falling on the Brussels sprouts. So the Brussels leaned a bit, but other than that, it looks fine. It recovered a lot from yesterday because they looked in distress. So hopefully they should be fine now. But you can see a lot of bugs being attacking these, which I'm not really too concerned about right now, because my main concern for these are actually the Brussels sprout. But I'm still gonna. I never had the leaf before, but I'm gonna try and do something with that. So waste not, you want none. And that should be a nice green salad, or could saute them actually because they look like they're pretty fibrous. So gonna try to probably saute them with some nice butter, some garlic, salt, pepper, and that should be yummy yum. So we'll see. But that's just a update. This is longer than I thought, but yeah. I also keep the sprinkler on this. I bought sprinkler. They have irrigation systems and all that, but I wasn't ready to make a big investment, not on the first go round. So I bought a sprinkler. It was $14. I got it off Amazon, and this small hose. I don't even know what the price on this was, but this hose is probably 8 feet. This is the last one I saw on the shelf in Lowe's. So anyway, yeah, just have yourself a good setup out here. In the heat, you want to water extra, just because the sun is going to take all the liquid from your garden, and you're going to need them, especially when they get to this stage, just because you don't want anything to be lacking, because now it's time to see fruits. So you don't want to mess up your fruit production. All right. Anyway, thank you. You guys have a good day.